Hello folks, I'm back with another one. I know it's been a hell of a long time, as is normal now really for this channel it seems. Um, I'm back with another one, which is an update slash really sort of interesting point in my recovery recently, and sort of a overcoming of addiction when you're sort of not expecting it. So I think it could help other people, which is obviously the reason why I'm uploading it. Um, so yeah, I hope you're well. Hope you and your family are doing good, as I always say. Um, I do try to update this channel. I do want to do it. I wish I could do it on a regular basis, but I am working and I'm working, sort of long hours at the moment, and I just end up shattered and you know one thing leads to another and I don't end up getting it done. What I will say is I am still doing where I can work in the community or in the media and such, trying to help other people through sharing my story and my experience of gambling harm. So I do still do these types of things where I can, and I think that's something that I'll always do. Um, so on to this recent sort of overcoming of addiction. Lately, I had been absolutely fine with my recovery from gambling, and I'm actually coming up to 5 years at the end of this month. I had been great in terms of how far away from having a gamble that I felt. I really did. And then something happened whilst I was on a family holiday where actually my vehicle got smashed up at home. Um, and for me, that set off a load of mental mental health issues around security of our home, where my child, sleeps. The thought that somebody could come onto the property and damage a vehicle, then I was thinking, are they going to come back and try and get in the house and things like that? And the long and short of it is I just ended up really anxious, really scared, really. And when I say scared, I wasn't scared of sort of my safety. It was, I don't want people coming to the home where your family are, it's quite normal. Um, and so it really set off a lot of triggers from past issues around that, around safety and things. And I sort of went downhill, really downhill, mentally, and coupled with not being well physically as well, I was just sort of really low, really low mood. And then we started to struggle in a financial sense as well. I would I would look at the finances occasionally with my wife and realise that very shortly we're going to be running out of money. Um, the one thing I'll say about that is I did have a sort of foresight that this could happen, but I also, in my recovery from gambling, I still to this day struggle to manage money properly, finances properly, um, and as much as obviously my wife tries to take care of it and put a cap on things, I am usually quite, gung-ho with money. And I don't mean to be, I still struggle with it. Um, Added to that I have put my family through some horrendous things in the past, and I want them to be able to enjoy things now where possible. And of course, there's other financial pressures that everyone's facing at the moment, or most people, with the cost of living and things. In the UK, it's horrendous. The cost of eating and fuel and shopping, even, it is a pressure. And I started to succumb to that pressure in my head. And I was starting to look at the options which would enable us to be better financially placed. The option that kept coming back to me more and more was to gamble, because as much as I felt strong for so long, gambling still offered that one opportunity where it could increase our financial strength. This is a warped way of thinking, but this was my thinking then. It would increase. It could increase our financial position and strength by one big win. Back to that old thing that I used to believe in. One big win will sort everything out. The problem with that is, as I found out many a time, no win will ever be big enough for me. I could win six figures and I was... Sorry, the phone just fallen there. Yeah, so I could win six figures and I would still want to really have another bet, because once you're back, especially if you've had a period of time away from gambling, once you're back into it, what I used to find after relapse is that you almost go harder than ever. And so one big win wouldn't have stopped there, and I would have just carried on and carried on and carried on. So yeah, I had one or two options remaining to be able to sort our finances out, or in my mind that was it. I was going to have to gamble again, and I came really, really close. I did, and I didn't want to do it. And I'll be honest, one of the major things that stopped me is my desire to help others with gambling addiction, or gambling issues, gambling harms, whatever you want to dress it up as. Doing what I can to help others. I wanted the time in my recovery, which is nearly 5 years, to carry strength in what I'm talking about and what I'm saying, and to be able to sort of inspire people that you can turn your life around if you are struggling with gambling. And so that was one of the major things that stopped me. I did manage to also pull a few strings and sort of a bit of finances out, not to the point where we're comfortable, but to get us through. And obviously my wife and child was the other factor in me not going back gambling. That goes without saying. So my child doesn't know me as a gambling addict. They know me as Daddy, and that is incredible for me, and I want that to remain the case. Not Daddy, this person who spends every last penny that we have. Not Daddy that lies and cheats and deceives and leaves a trail of destruction everywhere he goes. I really want my focus for my child's view of me, because to be honest, the only person whose view I do care about of me is my child's, to be Daddy who works hard and provides for his family and overcome a massive addiction, and now does what he can to help others. That's the view I want. That's the legacy I want. So I didn't go back gambling. I didn't open any accounts. I didn't do any of the sort of outer edge type things. And I look back now and I'm so happy that I didn't do it. And honestly, like the amount of time that I envisaged waking up having lost everything again during this period where I was considering going back, I knew that it quite possibly could finish me off. It could finish in a real, a not very good state. And I look and I'm so happy that I didn't go back. My message in telling you all this is that really, when you are in recovery from addiction, any addiction, like in my mind, but in particular, for me, gambling addiction, I think it can be normal to have peaks and troughs in your recovery. It's not always going to be plain sailing, and there may be still tempting situations to tempt you back in that you might think, go on. But it's important that them points that we do talk, we do stay strong. I spoke to other people I trust, and they was able to also help me see sense. And I'm forever grateful to those people. Really, am grateful, because they're not only true friends, real friends, but they're people who understand just how bad I was, and probably know that if I was to go back, it could be a real bad, not good outcome. So, yeah, for me, it's important that when you are almost blindsided, or someone tempts you, or you're feeling vulnerable to going back, you do talk, you do try and have a sit down with yourself and realise the try and envisage how you will feel after the event. Because for me, that, and I can only speak for what worked for me, looking at what I'd achieved and looking at how I would feel the next day, I didn't want that feeling. I don't want that feeling ever again. To feel that I've let everyone down, myself down, I've lost every penny that we have, I've created another trail of destruction, I've gone back to that life, that sort of, that meaningless sort of existence that I was in. Yeah, a real bad place, and I don't want that. So I'm delighted that I didn't do it, and I think what people maybe can take from this is that in time, even if you feel weak in the initial stages of your recovery, in time it does allow you to, when there is a temptation, as in my case, come across, you are able to have that little bit more clearer thought process to be able to study things first before just running back. When I was at it and I was relapsing every day, every week, I wouldn't think things through first. I would just think, oh, I need an opportunity. This is gonna, I'm gonna have a gamble now. I need to win this, I need to win that, and I would just go and do it. I literally would. But in recovery, I think the longer time you get, you're able to have that little bit more delay, that little bit more clarity in thinking, and see the consequences before you actually cause the consequences. So yeah, probably that's the line takeaway. I could see the consequences before I caused the consequences. So yeah, I hope this helps. I hope this, I can only speak from my experience, and this is a weaker point of my recovery from gambling addiction, but it's one that I wanted to be honest about. I could sit here and say, yeah, I'm fine. This is an update. 5 years nearly. Everything's great. It's not. But I knew whatever my mental health issues are, whatever happens in terms of ups, downs in life in general, that gambling and returning to gambling is just not the answer. Whenever I'm not gambling, I'm not making it worse. So take care, folks. I will try and post a little bit more regularly on here. I do say that each video, and then I get, like I said, I'm doing a long hours at the moment, trying to help people and do things away from videos, and I just end up I end up losing track, and I end up not doing it. But I will make a bit of an effort to try a bit more. But yeah, thank you for watching, and thank you for engaging, because I have seen some comments that I still get left, even though there's not been much activity. And if you can, like, subscribe, just to help the algorithm get in front of get these videos in front of people who really could benefit from them. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, folks.